up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Breaking Boundaries. Today we have a special guest. Drum roll, please. The Candle Queen, Mahan with Vogue Candles. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I have known Carlo for a little bit, few years, definitely. We go back. And when you shared with me that you have podcasts, I got really interested. And we always had deep conversations.
Yeah. And let me tell you, since we started this show and we talked about having guests on here, you were in my top 3 lists. I wanted to have you on here because I love your story. And like, I was there from the beginning, you know, Mahan, Alan, I don't know if you know, but Mahan, she hired my moving company to move some of her candles when she first started. That's how I met. And then us getting reconnected and me seeing like where you are today, I was just like, wow.
Really?
Well, yeah. I was like, wow, look at this. Because to watch somebody, I'm just so intrigued to watch somebody create something from nothing, your own thing, right? And moving those candles from that first time out of your garage, right? To seeing you completely own the industry.
Oh.
And we're not talking any industry. We're talking Hollywood.
Tough.
We're talking, some major players that you work with.
Yeah.
And so it just amazes me. And I know others, they don't. And just being a part of it, just the experience, you know, you always share and with the people you're working with, and you're like, we're living the dream, we're sharing the light, right? And other guys don't understand that, but I do understand like how valuable experiences are.
Yeah.
So when I'm there and it's your mission, your dream, but I can see it, I can feel it when I'm there. I feel the candles, I feel sharing the light, you know? So it just, I get it. I get you, and you have an amazing story. And so tell us about it. So I want to hear like, okay, so what did you do before this?
So we're going to be here a while.
That's fine.
I'm going to get in the whole thing, but my background is corporate, corporate sales, corporate structure. The last company I worked for, I was in treasury department, and we worked directly with Federal Reserve. Moving a lot of money and following regulations. And so my background is mostly in corporate structures, corporate sales. I'm so grateful for that experience because it definitely teaches you discipline, ethics for sure, certain level of communication and getting things done.
Right.
Nobody cares about your personal life. It's all about getting things done in a very professional way. Yeah. So I'm grateful for that.
And so do you feel that you having that background, you needed that to do this?
I feel what I'm doing now, it's a beautiful combination of multiple talents and skills that I perfected. I always had them because you have to be super creative. You have to be business savvy. You have to be logistics and ready to roll the sleeves and get the work done, but also be great in communication and creating that connection with people. Mm-hmm. And I feel I possess those talents and skills. I was blessed with them. Mm-hmm. But when this business opportunity presented itself, or I will say I created it, this business opportunity, it definitely paid off a big time for me because I was able to wear multiple hats.
Right. So, and the reason I asked that is because, you know, it was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, the first time when I moved your candles. And then a couple years ago, it was just random. And I ended up back there and coming and doing logistics for your company. Right. And in the middle of starting my new company, my security company. Mm-hmm. So my point of this is, and I'm doing these candles and I'm working all this time and doing and all this stuff. And sometimes I'm like, and I'm loving it, but I'm like, God, I'm starting a security company. Why am I here? But the lessons I learned from being in that industry, okay, the Hollywood industry, and a couple things that I learned from you and being in that industry was, 1, keep your mouth shut. Okay. 2, nobody gives a shit what you're going through. I have this, or I'm going through this, or I'm doing this. Like, they don't give a shit. It's let's grind.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm there. And I'm like, God, okay, what am I doing here? Because I'm just kind of following my flow, right? And then I start the security company with the same kind of client, Hollywood clients, So with those lessons of keep my mouth shut, and when it's time to grind, was two big lessons that I needed to keep, and it's still my biggest client that I have. So I was placed there not only to experience, but to learn that lesson before I started with this client. Because with my business, and they pop up these multi-million-dollar dispensaries, and it's boom, bap, 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 bap. Carlo, I need this. Carlo, I need this. Boom, no, I don't need this. I need that. And I was able to come in there and handle it like a professional from learning from being in your industry. So it's just funny. And that's why I asked you, like, what you did in your past. Do you think it had anything that you had to have it to do what you're doing now?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah. So that's my next question. Oh yeah. Okay. So what was your why?
Great question. Actually, I was driving here and something happened, and not today, something happened a week ago. And I'm like, that's a perfect why question. And I'm going to share it with Carlo when I see. So I'm going to get back to why my company and candlelight and events and everything. But the story goes, I take a little walk around the area where I live, and about like 5-10 minutes. It's busy. So I know pretty much every rock, every fence, every bush, every flower. And last week they were doing construction. They were like redoing the pavement and doing new asphalt. All this machinery came. They ripped the road apart. They did a whole thing. Done, right? Beautiful, done. And I'm walking day 1, day 2. So I'm watching the whole thing. Then they were done, left, and I'm walking, and I see something right in the middle of the road that they just did the fresh pavement, fresh asphalt. I just stopped. I froze up. I stopped. I'm like, what? It can't be. I saw a leaf. A leaf. I don't know if it's a tree or some sort of plant, broke through that asphalt.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, where's a leaf? And where's asphalt and rocks and machinery and grinding and heat and the weight of them, right? And still, somehow, that leaf broke through and came up. And there's your answer on like question why. Because it could.
Right.
Because it could. It makes no sense logistically, right? Probably got smashed the next 5 minutes by a car driving by. So there's no future plan or planning, right? And it did with the force of God and force of life just because it could.
And so that's your why for the candles.
So when the business started, making very long story short, I was in a challenging position, and sometimes life just throws things at you. It's not about you doing something wrong or making wrong decisions, or things just get tough.
Yeah, life throws curveballs.
I think that Mike Tyson, and pardon me if I think that one of the big boxers said, everybody has a plan till you get punched in the face.
So true.
So life was punching and punching and punching and punching. And I found myself in a position that was not only hurtful, it was devastating from all different perspectives. Physically, financially, a lot of stuff was going on. And I literally realized I have nowhere to back. Like there is no space for me to back.
Right.
My back is against the wall and I can't move. And I'm just taking a breath, and I'm realizing that whatever this is, it's a big mess. I am in it, but it's not me. It's just not me. So in that,
I got goosebumps right now.
So in that moment, and I never ask God for anything. Like I don't sit there in prayer and say, give me this, give me that.
Yeah.
I literally said this phrase, and I remember this because it wasn't even prayer that was asking for something. It was, I claimed myself. And what I said was, there is the light in the end of this tunnel. there is the light, and I'm the light of God.
Mm.
And after that, everything changed. I came across this concept. It was not what you see today. It was very different. And when I realized that you can have these granules, have the wick, light it, and when I lit that first candle, I knew, I don't know what and how and why, but I knew I will give my all, my skills, my talents, my life, my heart into sharing this light. And that's what I do.
I like that.
Wow. And that's, because this is like the story of everything. So though getting punched, right? Like you're talking about that part, right? And,
Yeah.
But that's how that was born.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We get put against. So that's like the process of something being born. Like everything has to fall apart first. Like your ship has to be burnt.
Yeah.
You have to be broken
Yeah.
down because you just said it. And that's the only way I think the greatest things are created. It's not ooh la la, everything worked out perfect and this and that. No, that I think that's where God comes out. And when you said to that part where you said, "I claim this,"
I'm claiming.
there is light.
There is the light.
In all this shit, in all this darkness, I claim it. It is mine. This is how it is. It is done.
And I feel when the moment the challenges showed up, life is tough. Life is not all butterflies and rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that too,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of purely evil stuff, purely evil. And it's not about, you're making the wrong decisions or, you're doing, I don't know, drugs or something. It's literally just shit happens.
Yep. Yep.
It is what it is.
Yep.
It is what it is. And I feel it's very easy to go into why me and that hurts and let me punish and let me get back and with revenge.
Yeah.
And I feel that's not my energy. That's not my vibration. Let me put all myself into light because I am the light. And sharing the light became my mission, my life mission. So with this product, right, I'm like, I don't know anything about anything. I'm like, what am I going to do? Am I going to start a business? Like what, how, what? And of course, one of the first things, like, how do I sell this? Right. So let's sell this. How do you sell this?
Right.
When I show you, you'll be like, yeah, it needs to be shown because the granules, the wig, the replaceable wig, it's too much. So even if I put it in the most pretty packages, but I put it on a shelf, you're just going to pass. You're not going to see it.
Right.
So I'm thinking, let's go on the streets. Let's hit the streets. And I started doing a farmer's market. You are between potatoes and eggs, 6 o'clock in the morning, and the people coming and they're grabbing and they're leaving. So you have about like 1.5 seconds to grab anybody's attention.
Right.
So what I did was I found the most obnoxiously red velvet tablecloth I could find. I put the large candles on the table. I lit them. And then I took a sample with granules in them and I just went to the people. To the people we go.
Right.
And honestly, if you starting a new business and there's a product, go to the streets. Go to the people. I learned so much because I didn't even know, like, how do I sell this as a pound? It's a wick. What? Nobody understands this. How do I price it? How do you price it, right? What makes sense? So when I went and I started talking to them, like, oh, touch the granules. Oh, is a candle? What kind of? There's a candle. What? Actually, a lot of male, like guys, will be interested because it's the technology, right? The replaceable, the whole thing. So started with the farmer's market. We start selling. It's tough. It's tough. You're up at like 3 a.m, getting tan, getting loaded, you know, hustling.
Yep.
So definitely, it's not an easy one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. And then I had no money.
Right.
I had no money. I had no credit cards, nothing. And you have to pay for this. You have to pay for your table. You have to pay for product.
Yep.
I start pitching everyone, anything and everybody I could find. I pitched anyone from like venture capitalists. We support women-run businesses. I probably saw maybe 50, 60 people. Appointments, going, pitching. This is the product. This is. They're like, oh, this is cute. This is this. This is this. I get a job. I heard that. Get a job. This is cute. And people were just not getting it.
Yeah.
Or even like all this, we help business. We start. First question, do you own a home?
Right.
Like, no, I'm living in my car.
No, there's no that. Meaning, do you own a home? Meaning, we can put a lien on your house and give you a business loan for 70% interest. We're happy to do that, So I'm like, you know what? Fruit this.
Right.
I'm just going to go for it. So I started with the farmer's market. And then one of my clients who purchased candles like a few times, she came like, oh, this is so beautiful. I have a birthday coming up. I would love to have them, but my place is so small. Even if I buy, 10 or 20, I don't have space to put them.
Right.
Light bulb. Just light bulb. I'm like, I can rent them to you. She's like, what do you mean? I'll just come, set them up. We'll light them. You enjoy your birthday. And then I will pick them up. Really? You will do that? I'm like, yeah. She's like, how much? I'm like, I didn't know.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, $200. I'll bring you 30 candles or something, whatever I said. She paid me cash on the spot. I took that $200 and I said, this is it. This is it. That's what I'm going to do. I knew nothing about nothing for event industry, events, how, what, nothing. But I do remember my gas. My car didn't need the gas driving home because I was so excited. I just flew. Then I got home and I took a little, like a sticky note. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. Who are like the dream clients? Like who are the big dogs? Like who are like my dream come true clients? And first name I put was Kris Jenner. Because I'm like, she is a phenomenal visionary, total genius in marketing and, her businesses and everything. Just huge respect. Kris Jenner. Then I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay. So it's her, it's the whole Kardashian clan.
Yeah.
Who, I bet she says they're not blowing their own balloons when they have a party.
Exactly.
Or cutting their own daisies for a bouquet. So Google, great help. Mindy Weiss. Mindy Weiss is a phenomenal visionary and event planner to A-list celebrities. I put her name on the list. Then I have one of my favorite florists, Jeff Latham, who is an art director for Four Seasons. And he is art director in Four Seasons, multiple locations. Paris, Beverly Hills, Philadelphia, I believe Hawaii more. So every time I had connection in Paris, I'll just come to Four Seasons. We'll sit at the foyer. I'll just watch his floral installations. They're like different level. And then I put 2 more names. So I had 5 names on my sticky note. Within a year, I worked with all of them.
That's manifesting right there.
Yeah.
That's manifesting. I mean, and you were in Jeff's book, weren't you?
Yes.
Your candles. I met Jeff.
Yes.
Awesome. Amazing guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Super creative, so chill.
Humble.
Genius.
Super humble.
Just freaking genius. Definitely reinventing himself in his florals constantly. And yes, we were honored to be in his latest book. We did multiple events, but he picked one of the events and he put a picture of the event in his book. It's huge.
Cool. So
huge.
were you like a candle person before you started this? Were you real into like lighting candles around the house and everything? Or?
Yeah. Did you start the house on fire like a child with a candle or something?
Not really. Not really.
I had no idea this was coming.
Nothing. No idea. No, no prep. It was in my hands.
Right.
But then I felt like I'm taking responsibility because this was trusted in my hands. And I remember I deliberately took this step I said, okay, how am I going to do this? Because I am shy. I know it's hard to believe. I have so many, things and, am I confident? How am I going to talk to this person and that person? They're over there and I'm over. I took I out of the equation. I made the whole business about I'm sharing the light and you need this light as much as I do, maybe even a little bit more. So I am on the mission. I am the messenger. I'm bringing this to you. So I felt when I took I out of the equation, there's no ego, right? Not that I want this and I need to have this. I'm on the mission.
Right.
We have shit to do. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I feel like it's definitely reprograms you because now there's no force on earth can stop me because there's no no's.
Right.
There's no no's. Because if you hear no, you step back, I get double force.
Yeah. Carlos, we're always talking about that, how there's times in your life where it's time to just say yes, right?
Yeah.
And that can make a big change in your life. It's
so I think really to creating anything, it all comes down to your mind and how you think of things. Like you said, you hear a no, and then that becomes a natural instinct. When you hear a no, you automatically start figuring out another way.
Yeah.
Right? There's just a certain kind of human being that you have to be, and to be that, you have to believe in your project, right? No matter what.
Yeah.
There's a no matter what belief. Like, I know this is going to work, and it takes that. It takes that.
I feel you need to make a decision. It's either this or that.
Yeah.
And there's no wrong decisions.
Right.
If you go fishing on Thursday at 2 p.m. and then take a little nap, there's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
But don't call yourself a business owner. I feel like there's a certain level of hustle. And again, there's nothing wrong with this. But when the phone rings, I pick it up.
Right.
I book a lot of events simply because I picked the phone.
Right.
And people like that. I like that. When I call a business, all I want to hear is, I will take care of you. I got you. I listen. I understand what you need. And I'll take care of it with a smile on my face.
Right.
Answering the phone is such a big deal.
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
Day or night.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I know in my life, like, I've been in periods of my life where I just won't answer the phone. It's like answering the phone is stressful, but you're right. Answering the phone's important because if you don't pick it up, those opportunities fly right by you. And next thing you know, the guy next to you just got the offer that you were looking for. And if you would have picked up that call, you would have made that appointment just to speak with someone, you would have taken some sort of action, it would have been yours.
And the way the way they're feeling when they call you, they might not be feeling that way when you call them back.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like you said, I'm the same way. When I call somebody and I have like a ownership about it, like I want to talk to the same person. I want to deal with the same thing and I want it now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I take offense when I don't get it.
Right.
I'm that way as well.
Yeah. So what's your favorite part about what you're doing? Is it the creative side of it, or is it the business side of it, or what do you really, where does the passion arrive?
Yeah. So Carlo knows what I do. I don't think we haven't talked about it. So we specialize in luxury candlelight staging services for events.
Yeah, he's told me a lot
that's my
about
specialty.
That. Right.
So what we do is we are white glove service delivery with beautiful candles. And the candles come in assortment of colors, assortment of sizes. For me, it's always about the look. And we take care of everything. So we deliver them to you, design, installation, lighting, and pickup. It's a full service. For me, I love to give my clients a full experience from A to Z. So from the time you contact me on DM, text message, phone call, email, I feel that my role is to understand, what are you celebrating? How are you celebrating that?
Right.
I don't have a price list. I know people are like, oh, shocker, you don't have a price list. I have a minimum, but then for me, it's about what serves the best, what shows your event the best light.
Right.
You know, what compositions of staging will work for you. And just asking very simple few questions. I don't like to go like down the long road. You know, it's like where, when, what are we celebrating? And most of the questions, like, is it sit down dinner? Is it wedding aisle? Is it a house?
Right.
It's a venue, so to speak. So, and after that, I will take care of everything. So my job is to make your experience easy breezy.
I like that.
Easy breezy.
Yeah.
No stress. I got you. Things change, you know, as much as you plan. This is, event is in real time, meaning the bride is walking down the aisle now.
Yeah.
There's no take two.
Right.
Yeah, it has to be done.
Right.
And when I'm there too, sometimes I'm like, because you know me, I always want things done early, and I always want plenty of time, and there's not.
Right.
And, it's like, and sometimes I'm like, how is all this going to get right? And it just goes boom, boom. It's just the way it flows. It's just such an amazing experience, the way that it flows.
It's a very intriguing industry. It's a very cool industry. I'm shocked that we don't have any like reality show about it.
Right.
Yeah, we talked about that, and that's like that is great. And the thing with these candles is like, unless you see it, you can't get the real experience of it. Like you can see pictures. So I think like a lot of these clients, they see it in other things, and that's where it's grown, you know, and especially when you got the big names. Oh, they seen it in the big names. Well, I wanted it. I mean, how many girls said, oh, I want that at my wedding when they seen it like that. Right. So until you see it, you don't know. So, I mean, just the struggle of creating that from the ground up, that beginning is like, wow. And then when I see it and when people say, oh, I love the candles, like you couldn't imagine anything ever being without the candles.
Right.
How did they ever have a wedding, or how did they ever have an event? Like it was nothing without these candles. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I see the candles at a wedding, and if you guys just had flowers here, like that would how did life exist without the candles? Like that's how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Right. So everything is done by hand. No machinery, nothing.
Well, we drive trucks.
Automated.
We drive trucks.
But okay, interesting. And you have an example to share with us today?
Yes, absolutely. So I can show you a candle. I'm happy to share maybe some video clips so you can
absolutely. We'll put them in the show. Absolutely. Yeah.
But another point I wanted to bring. So when I started, you said like, how was it without? There was candles. Every single event has some sort of a candlelight. They just haven't been done in that manner.
Right.
And for me to come in the industry that is A-list celebrity, it's a very tough industry to get in. Mm-hmm. It's very incredibly tough to introduce any type of different concept. Mm-hmm. And when I came, I see the difference that we make. Right. Almost 7 years later, I'm obsessed with the same, like with the product, with the concept, with what we deliver, simply because I know we make the difference.
Right.
And there's no comparison with regular candlelight because you have limitations in design and sizes and so on. So the candles have always been like afterthought. You know, oh, we have food, we have drinks, we have this. Oh, yeah, let's put some candles.
Right.
So now the candlelight is taking over and becomes like the main stage decor.
Yeah, the center.
And it's up there with the flowers.
Right.
Yes.
You know, it's there with the flowers.
I do a lot of events with no flowers. Like there's no flower, even the weddings.
Right.
You know, the bride will have a bouquet, but everything else is candlelight. And you're right. Like even if you see pictures and videos, when you see there's something very special about the light and the flame, I feel like it's almost taking us like in the nature and the instinct of the caveman, right? You see the fire, you see the light, and it just becomes what I call it emotional decor.
Right. You have to feel it. Like you don't feel, unless you're there experiencing, you don't feel it. You don't get the full thing of it. But once you do, you're like, you're in awe.
Right.
You know,
right.
It's
emotional decor.
Yeah.
So
as you said,
emotional decor.
So what's the smallest candle you provide and what's the largest candle you provide?
So basically you're not limited to have sizes or designs. You can make anything into a candle. So for events, I figured out the most optimal sizes that pretty much work for any event. Mm-hmm. So for tabletops, it's like 4, 6, 8, 10 inches of the candle. And for large designs that go on the floor, they go up to 31 inch.
Wow.
However, my tallest candle, I believe it was like 47. I'm 5'5".
Wow.
It was like up to my...
Wow. So that tall and how big in diameter?
Yeah, so it's literally you give me a vessel, I can make it into a candle.
That's
we
cool.
do a lot of custom. We do a lot of custom work. I always say, like, challenge me.
Yeah.
What do we have? A pool? We need to have swimming candles in. There's definitely a lot of creativity and different designs that I produce. Constantly reinventing it. And plus, I'm so blessed to work with visionaries, event planners, florists, who create such an impactful designs that I'm constantly challenged. Okay, what else can I do?
Yeah.
Right.
What else can I do different? So we actually just introduced dripless, smokeless, non-melting taper candles.
Whoa. That's
We're just
crazy.
making shit up as we go now.
Gift that's keep on giving.
Keeps on giving.
Yes.
And what's funny is that, I've been in I was in the moving business for 20 years. Right. And so even, when I do go and help you and we're moving these heavy candles and we're running up and down the stairs and stuff, I even said to myself, like, I would have never figured this out, like how to make the logistics work. You know what I mean? And that comes from a moving background where we move stuff, right? But these are just different,
right?
And so I thought of it. I don't know where I was down in Newport Beach, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, if I was starting this business, even being a mover, I would have been like, oh, forget this.
Right.
How am I going to figure this out? You know what I mean?
But even like what sizes to bring, right? Sizes, quantity, like what are you bringing? You have to figure this out.
Yeah,
Right.
and you're so on point with it, and it's just everybody loves it.
Yeah.
And I think when you're doing anything, and when you get that feedback from people as well, it's just such a freaking what a story.
Yeah, what are some of the events that you've done? I'm sure you've done huge events, right?
Well, we don't want to name drop.
Let's drop some names. What have you done?
We don't have to name drop, but
very blessed. We have done. Mindy Weiss is a phenomenal visionary designer. She's an event planner designer. So she works with a lot of A-list celebrities, from Kardashians to LeBron James, to name the few. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
Netflix, you've done some stuff, a lot of stuff for Netflix.
Also we work, so the type of events we do, we spread them. So I do a lot of different industries. I constantly create different opportunities. So we do anything from intimate dinner for two, proposals, weddings, funerals. We do pop-ups for brands, Skims, 818, Rolls Royce, name it.
Right.
Anything to do with premieres, red carpets, black carpets. Last week we were busy with BET Awards. They celebrated a 45-year anniversary. So candlelight any celebration can be a reason to light a candle.
Yeah, right.
Right. And then definitely deliver ambience. So definitely doing something very unique and different. And now my challenge is, I'm challenging myself constantly. How can we share more light? So I have a sister company in Vancouver, and we open a branch in Scottsdale.
Okay.
Scottsdale, Arizona. Yes.
But the thing with that is like, nobody can really do it like you. You know when you have, let's say there's a chain of restaurants and there's 4 different restaurants in 4 different cities. Well, the one that tastes the best is the original one, right? Where the owner is, and I'm sure they're great, but you get what I'm saying? So like nobody can steal this from you. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody can do it. Nobody can do it like you. It's just a certain kind of flavor. It just has a certain kind of touch. And it's just all those pieces that go together. The story of how it happened, all that energy is involved in this business. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's not, you can't copycat it. Right. Because it's the energy of the story and how it was told and how it was produced and the love and there's just so much into it.
Yes.
So that's why I'm just so intrigued with it because of the creation of it and the way that it is,
Thank you. But I feel there is a way to share the wisdom and experience that I have. And I feel there's a lot of people who are aiming or searching to start their own business.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm perfecting a formula that will empower you to start your own business with my product, with my concept, and I will teach you how to make this into a profitable business.
Right.
Because one of the things that I've learned, no matter what kind of service you provide, no matter what kind of product you have, it does not make you a business.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there are certain secrets of the trade, and how do you approach certain even industries, and creating that opportunity is very unique for sure. So I'm looking into franchises. I'm selling wholesale, so production company florists can purchase. A lot of LA crowd of the event industry, they purchased from me, and I'm expanding my e-commerce. So if you're looking for that perfect candle at home, this is the last candle you buy.
Right.
So VogueCandles.com, and we just launched our Prime Amazon shop on Amazon.
That's amazing.
So like literally a few days ago.
Yeah.
So why do you think this worked? What is your core reason? Why did this work, Mahan?
You mean the concept, the business?
Yeah, why did it work?
Because there's nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me because I am out of the equation, and the mission of sharing the light is unstoppable.
I like that.
Woo! That was power right there. That was a good answer. That was power.
Yeah. So drive, ambition, resilience. It seems like that you have a lot of that in you when it comes to running your business. And
Definitely. And my definition of resilience is you don't have to be the biggest, you don't have to be the strongest. But when life is punching you in the face, it's all about how fast you can get up and keep on going.
Right.
And if you can't run, then you walk.
Right.
And if you can't walk, then you crawl. And if you can't crawl, then you just look at the direction where you need to go.
Right.
Yes.
And so, a lot of people have great ideas. A lot of people try different things. Why do you think they don't succeed? What do you think the cause of that is?
Have your shit together. Have your shit together. I feel, to me, idea is a wishful thinking. A vision board is a wishful thinking. You have to pick a lane, no matter what it is. Pick one lane. Focus. Laser focus. And do something every day, no matter if it's Christmas, Monday, Sunday, 3 a.m., 4 p.m., do something today that will take you one step forward to the direction where you're going. Also, know your numbers. Know your numbers before you even start. To have I would like to have candlelight business. Know your numbers, but know your logistics. What are your costs? What are your projected revenue? How many events do you need to book to create certain revenue? And the most important is, I feel, it's not the logic that is thinking that. You have to feel it in your vein. You have to feel it in your blood. You have to feel like it belongs to you. And think of those numbers. I mentioned, I took I out of the equation because I would be scared or frightened to let's make $1,000. How about 10,000? How about it's 100,000? How about it's 1 million? But when you're on the mission, then it becomes tangible number.
Right.
And think about how your life will change. And be specific. Be specific. How many events do you need to book? A week, a month, a year? What the revenue looks like, and stay on it. Stay on it. Every day, my business is my business to generate revenue. It's not about wishful thinking. It's not about how much I can buy or how many vacations I can go to. It's about how can I share more light.
Right.
Because with every wick that we light on events or I sell on VogueCandles.com or Amazon, it's more light to be shared.
I love that.
And what was that number of wicks? I think you told me a while back. What was it in a year?
Honestly, I know what we used. We're in millions.
Millions of
We're
wicks
in
a year.
millions a year.
Millions of wicks a year.
That's crazy.
Between the events and all the sales that we do, home decor, wholesale, now Amazon. Yes.
Does
That's
it?
a lot of candles getting
It's a lot
lit.
of light.
Yes,
It's a lot of light. It's a lot of light.
And this world needs light.
Mhm.
Amen to that.
Definitely. Does it ever get stressful? And if so, how do you manage that stress to keep yourself going?
Great question. Yes, it's pretty much stressful all the time because I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Right.
And for me, I'm not going to stop till I decide when I'm going to stop or if I'm going to stop or how I'm going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So, however, you have to learn how to be water and float and pass whatever comes to you, rocks, challenges, whatever comes to you, just float around it.
Right.
And we talked to somebody about life and work and business balance. I said, business is a lifestyle. It's not 9 to 5. It's a
Right.
lifestyle.
Right.
But it's your job to figure it out how to enjoy it.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So, for example, if I have an event, we do a lot of destination as well. So we travel to different cities out of state. So when that happens, I always take an extra day or two, just chill,
Yeah. Yeah.
just chill.
Right.
So it's all depend on you, how you figure it out, how to rest, how
Right.
to replenish. Because if you don't have your oxygen mask on and you need a super, you are not good for anyone. So it's your responsibility to take care of yourself.
Right. Right.
So do you believe that you have to love what you do to be successful?
Be obsessed. Be obsessed.
You don't have to love it, but you have to be obsessed.
I feel like love, it's a beautiful feeling. Obsession is a love on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think that was yeah, you just rhymed something.
It was good.
I like that. That's bars.
I think a love and obsession kind of go together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They kind of
Yes.
go together because,
Yeah.
I think
But
that
obsession is definitely love with the mission.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. I like that.
Well
That's so true. That's so true. Because you can love something and just let it sit and love it. But
Yeah.
once you're obsessed, you're right. You're on a mission.
You're on the mission.
You're traveling down that lane and
I like the obsessed. I like obsessed.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that's how I think that's how success is created. Like I've always said, and we've talked about it before, people that are successful at what they do are kind of batshit crazy people that are just obsessed with this thing, and they're willing to do whatever they have to at all costs to achieve what they're looking to achieve. And without that drive, it's going to be really hard to obtain success. So.
But I feel it's also a beautiful balance because it's not about me or my product or my service. Who gives a shit? I make it all about you.
Right.
And about you. I'm like, what are we celebrating?
Yeah.
Let me show you in the best candlelight.
Yeah.
So always making it about other people.
Right.
So you're not chasing the money. You're chasing pleasing others.
A little bit of both.
And then the money comes.
I would say you have to stay super clear on the money because things can get out of control very fast. And it's interesting because when I started, I had no money. So when you have no money and no budget for marketing, etc., you get very creative.
Right. Right.
You get very creative. And I feel it also becomes like really a test.
Right.
Like, how far are you willing to go? What are you willing to do, to get yourself going? And I think it's a suicide mission to start a business with no money.
Right.
But no, so Liz, I love it because I do that, right? Like that's my story as well. And I seen this thing online. Another guy talks to me and he's like, nobody creates something great from like working their job and starting their side hustle or this and that. They always start from nothing, broke. Like the greatest things are created from being broke. And that's how and it's like, you have to burn the other ship for this one. And not only that, but for me, right, I act the best when my back's against the wall. When I have no other choice, I have a lot more drive.
Yeah.
So I think things have to be created like that. Like when I started my business, I $120,000 a year job. I quit it, walked away, no money, $1,500 in my pocket. Like that's my story. You know what I mean? Like I have to, I just can't do both. You know, I feel like you have to be fully invested into something.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
One thing, not five things.
I think it's awesome if you can start a business with, I raised $10 million. Let's go.
Right.
Yes. The road is a little bit less bumpy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I always say to myself too, I'm like, why couldn't you just wait and stay there and work the job? But I just couldn't. They just
and a lot of businesses now, including product and especially capsules, like it's new thing, capsule. We're going to do a capsule. Oh, we raised 25 million. Oh, we raised $60 million. They have not even developed a product.
Right.
They have not made a single sale. And somebody said, this is a great idea. $60 million. This is great when you can, invest and do it heavy marketing off the bat, etc. I would love to have that. But I didn't.
Right.
So I think it's great if you have it, but however, you need to be smart. Because marketing can drain you. First thing people get, let me get an office. Let me get a vehicle. Let me buy this. I actually have not owned my own van. I rented them for years.
Right.
And I haven't had any, facility, official facility for years.
Right.
Because I was very, profit high. Expenses low expense, high profit, low expense, high profit.
Right.
It's very easy to spend exactly what you just earned.
Yeah. Right.
And that's how I am too. And I see other people that, I have a friend that owns a hair salon, right? And she got $150,000 loan to build up this hair salon, right? And get it all fancy and all nice. And I never understood people that do that, right? Like it's always, you grow as you go. You know what I mean? Like the least amount of cost, and you grow. And I don't even start a business until I have the client first, until I have the work first. Then I figure it out later.
Right.
And everybody's like, I got to have this first. I got to have this first. No, if you have an idea, just take off.
Yeah.
Right. Like if God gave you a plan, right? He's not thinking about your bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll be provided for. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's it, man. And that's that risk reward.
Yeah.
Risk reward.
Yeah.
Or you can go work 9-to-5 job.
And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Whatever makes you happy, living your life, there's no wrong decisions.
But
then don't whine.
Sure.
There's a lot of whining goes with that. Or a lot of entitlement. Oh, I work this. Now I deserve this.
Exactly.
Do you?
Right. Yeah. When I was coming up in my career, I worked a job, and I stayed at this job for a long time, about 15 years. And the owner of this company, he came from Germany right after World War II, and he started working as an electrician, and then he started getting into the products that we built. And he was a penny pincher. I mean, straight up penny pincher. And, it was hard to get the company to buy you anything. I'm like, hey, I need a better chair because, this one, the arm's broken off and the wheel's missing, or, I need this or I need that. And they're like, yeah, do you really need it? Where I've seen other businesses that, people working for them are just spending money left and right. And so he taught me a lot about, never spending what you don't have. And I look at him, and he owns the building. He owns every piece of equipment in there. And because I came up in that company so young, when I started branching out and started working for other companies, I see how these companies spend money. And it's like, I don't know how they're in business. And you see these companies that they're leasing everything, and they don't own anything. They don't own any of their equipment. Everything's leased or rented. And so you're right. I mean, spending what you need to spend to operate is necessary, and then spending above that, there's a fine line there, and I think it makes or breaks a business, right? Knowing how to manage your money.
I think that everything is energy, and it's what's energy aligned, because there's all kinds of different stories. Some people inherit money, some people win the lottery, some people spend a lot. I think it's just whatever you energetically align with is like what works for you. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of different stories and different ways to make money. You know what I'm saying? My best technique that I've learned, I started doing, is that my expenses are never more than a third of my income. And I grow with that.
Right.
because when you don't and your expenses are so high, you're energetically giving tightness out there, and you're coming from a place of lack. So if you always keep your expenses no more than a third of your income and grow with that, you're always at ease and at no worry. And so I think it has a lot. Mahan, what do you think? What is manifestation? How does manifestation work? There's some people and they're over there, oh, please, can I get something? And I'm just going to go live in a cave, as I've heard you say before, and hope that it fucking comes, And then there's the 10X Grant Cardone. I'm going to work 18 hours a day. There's all kinds of different. What do you think manifestation is? Like, what are the techniques? You told the story that you wrote some things down, but you were there's action, alignment. How do you think that it works?
I think for me, manifestation is projection of your knowledge.
Projection of your knowledge.
So you know what you know, and two most important things to know about yourself is who you are and who you are not.
That was, yes.
Equally important, who you are and who you are not. And never compromise those two, no matter what.
One more time.
For me, manifestation is a projection of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And the two very important knowledge that you have to be 5,000% clear is who you are and who you are not. Equally important. And never, ever compromise those. You are blessed with certain set of gifts and skills and talents that no one else on earth has the same combo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your job to know what they are. How they manifest or live or business or writing a book, whatever you do, collecting stamps, whatever, how, that's a form. Okay. But that's your responsibility to know. And also your responsibility to know who you're not.
Mm-hmm.
For example, for me, lying and cheating is like non-negotiably not acceptable in my life.
Right.
And I do not tolerate it in any form, even slightest form.
Right.
For example, you have a cash business. And you're like, well, maybe I don't report taxes or this or that or pay somebody under the table. And I am a very clean book. So for me, that's unacceptable. And I will assure you, as soon as you start cheating universe in those little things, it will cheat you right back.
Right.
It will always be something that you just don't have a smooth ride with. So for me, manifestation is knowledge, projection of knowledge.
I like that.
Projection of knowledge. So you know who you are, you know who you're not, and it's up to you to be the vehicle to deliver it. However, when you are aligned with both I am and I'm not, the universe is very clear on what you need to be exactly where you are. So the situation will be attracted to you. The people will come because you are standing out from the crowd and you're attracting with your projection. So they know, oh, I need to do this for you. And I feel this is definitely the magic vehicle to live authentic life.
I like that. Put the energy out in order to attract it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Authenticity. And they talk about that they say love is the highest vibration, but actually authenticity is what they say. I believe that.
It's true.
To be true.
I like that.
And I like what you're saying because you just explained it because there's some people that I know, some well-off people that are scandalous and shady, and they make it too, right? But they're energetically aligned with that. But what you're saying is, I'm not.
Exactly.
So don't go against that, right?
Exactly.
But, because people talk about, well, how come this guy makes it? Because, they say do good and good will happen, right? But it's not that. It's like what you're energetically aligned with.
Now you're trading, but you should give just because you can.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
just because you can.
I love what you said because it's totally, that's, I'm totally the same way. I have to be that way and I can't be like that person. You know what I mean? I love how you put it.
Thank
and
you.
about being authentic and just in knowing like who you are. So you're saying if you don't pay your taxes, you're not.
I am not saying
You're saying
anything.
you have to pay your taxes.
I just know I do.
yeah. I love that. That's such a.
Maybe it's not a good example. Everybody got a little tense there for a second.
That's what's been going wrong. Let's see the candle.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we see a little bit of it?
You need some help? Right there is great. I haven't seen those with that sign on there. Is that just for us?
It is.
What? I feel
See,
so
I picked
special.
it. This is another thing is, I'll tell you a little secret. When you live in a whole universe, I am and I'm not, the intuition is phenomenal. So often, like, I have them in different colors.
Mm-hmm.
I picked white. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this is definitely a product of love. We're branded. We redesign our beautiful packaging. I love this packaging, very functional. Not only it's aesthetically pleasing, but it also tells you how to use the candles. And we have 2 QR codes that we tested, and one goes to how to make a video and one to the website. So the candle is super simple. Did I forget the wicks there? I'm so excited. I feel like I'm on QVC. Right? The magical granules are going in. And see how much you have left? There's a lot of light left. Oh, do the honors.
So are the granules made of wax? Or?
So they're completely different material. Wax is petroleum-based product. This is plant-based.
Okay.
So they're plant-based granules. And because of that, you don't have any smoke, any residue. You know, that black rim around the candle? None of that nonsense. It's very clean burn.
Okay.
And we are magically lighting our magical wick. And then we have a candle.
So you pour it in, you
Pour
put
it
the
in,
wick
put
in,
the wick in.
light it.
Light it. And I don't know if you can see it, but the flame is going to start melting the granules. So what's actually burning is the wick, but the granules are supporting the burn. So the light is going down. Then the wicks is melting the granules.
Get a video of it. on
And
your
the
phone.
light is picking up.
Because you can just send me that video and I can mix it in.
I have videos, by the way. Like I can.
Yeah, so
We'll
send
put
us
some in the episode also.
What you want on the episode, and we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll throw. Can we consider this episode sponsored by Vogue Candles?
Absolutely.
And we'll go ahead and
Yes.
we'll throw an ad in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. Do a link to Amazon shop
Yep.
website.
Yeah, we'll have all your links in the description,
Yeah.
and here at the end too, we'll have
And
you
where
shout
are you on?
everything
You're on
out.
Instagram, correct?
I am on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see how things shifted?
Mhm.
So is it scented at all? Or
So for the events, I don't send them for events,
Right.
obviously, because
Yeah.
we come with hundreds of candles. But for home, what you can do is you can pick any essential oil of your
Okay.
choice, and you can do drips around the wick
Okay.
and burn it. It's very light scent. The good news is tomorrow, if you pick a different scent, all you need to do is replace the wick
right.
and use a different scent.
So the
Amazing.
scent in the wick?
So you can do drops around the flame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
Technically
makes sense.
speaking, I researched a little bit and I looked into it of scenting the wick. However, I feel everybody has so different tastes for smells.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to have a selection of 1,001.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You would have to have
No,
that.
I mean that's really cool though, because then you don't have to buy 6 different candles to get 6 different scents. You can
Yeah,
have
that is-
any
that is
scent
amazing
you
idea.
want at any time, right?
Yeah. I like things that are very simple.
Mhm.
I feel like even for a business, like the more simple you are, the better off you are.
I mean, it's kind of like In and Out.
Right?
You know how simple In and Out is? It's like the
Yeah.
number one hamburger restaurant, you know, and they have the
Yeah.
smallest menu.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Technically speaking, I have 1 SKU in my
Yeah.
whole business. I don't have 50. but I, rotate them and do different things with them.
Right. So I want to get a candle. What size is this candle? 6 inches?
So very, very good, almost. So I'm not selling this particular vase because I gave a custom, deliver custom for your podcast. But online, we're selling 4x4, 6x6, 5x8, 5x10, so different sizes. But honestly, you don't even need to purchase glass from me.
Right.
You can make anything into a can within reason. Not like a paper cup. But you can make anything into a candle. Any vase. You can do multiple wicks. Any vase and anything. You can make
pot,
anything.
Cup, a glass, anything. Yeah.
Tray, bowl.
Right. Yeah, I imagine like something like wine glasses or something would be pretty cool, and this gives you the opportunity to really make a candle of any shape and size you want.
Yes, it is.
That's pretty awesome. It makes it possible. Like if you're having a party and you have some sort of a theme, you can get containers that match that theme, and then you can easily just make a candle.
He's going with it.
Yeah. I like that. So cool. So we'll keep this burning throughout the rest of the episode. If you want to move the bag, that way it's not blocking us from seeing you.
And you can zip tie it so nothing. It's nice and tight.
So do the granules ever expire?
No. And interesting is they are weather resistant. So if you leave it outside, they actually don't melt. Like
that's
regular
crazy.
candles.
Wow.
And they don't have to be sealed from air.
No.
You can just sit out.
Within the reason. I would say don't leave them outside in the rain.
Yeah.
But if the sun does hit it,
it's fine. Yeah, they don't melt. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a lot higher of a melting point than regular wax with this.
I can sense the scientist right there.
I work in the space industry, so I'm into how things work. But very cool product you have. So, any other passions aside from candles?
Life.
Yeah, I love it. It.
What's your
what makes you go, I guess, in life other than candles? What goes on in your, what drives you every day aside from business?
I love life because you never know.
Very
you never
true.
know.
Yeah.
You can walk and see little miracles and have a leaf picking out of the asphalt.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love those moments.
Mm-hmm.
I love moments of peace and serenity. I feel God is talking to us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel who's listening. And love nature. Nature inspires me. Anything from plants to animals. Planets to me, it's like PhD.
Yeah.
A lot of this makes no sense.
All right.
But I feel very connected to nature.
Okay.
So what's the and I know it's funny you ask her that, and I'm thinking like she lives and breathes candles. There is nothing else to Mahan. You know what I mean? Like that's right. That's her life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like where do you see this going? Where's it ending up? Where do you see it going?
I have a vision. I do believe that you keep your mouth shut.
Pull your microphone.
Yeah, you don't. I know. I hate that. You can't say it. It just takes the power out of it, right? Yeah.
So I noticed that certain things can be shared, but certain things cannot be said.
Mm-hmm.
So sharing the light, more light.
Yeah.
But I feel. Ask me the question again.
Where do you see this going? Like where does it end? Like where do you say, okay, I did it. Okay, I'm done.
As for business, as for today for the business, I do have 2 exit strategies.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't feel I will be done. Mm-hmm. I feel I will be functioning and creating completely on a different level because I love how my brain works and how I see business opportunities and most importantly, creating business opportunities always. there's always bigger and better. I love creating different, designs, but also different business concepts.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I think that Vogue Candles is prospering, and Vogue Candles we do very well. My personal goal for Vogue Candles to generate few extra zeros in the end of the annual revenue.
Mm-hmm. We all do.
We all do. But as far as my vision is, one of the things I know, I'm projecting my knowledge. This business model can empower people who are searching and looking to start doing something on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I have the knowledge and I have experience, I have expertise and the heart to take the time and to teach them. So I would say to put magnitude in what I do is definitely multiply this type of businesses and empower people in general, especially women,
Mm-hmm.
in different parts of the country, and to teach them how to run this as a business, a successful business.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Very
actually, I have been encouraged on multiple occasions to either teach a course or show how you make this into a business. Actually, the sister company in Vancouver, I coached them and I trained them for a year, because when they called me, they said, we want to purchase 2 bags of granules. And I already had multiple requests from Vancouver for events, but logistics gets so astronomically expensive. And for me to, deliver or ship or travel, it's astronomically expensive. So I asked them a question. I said, you want to purchase 2 bags of granules, or you want to make a successful business and run it in Vancouver?
Mm-hmm.
And I taught them how to do it. So we spent a whole year of me teaching them, and they said, you have to do it. You have to do it on a multiple level, like level it up,
Right.
level it up. And they found that my services were very helpful.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Changed their life.
Yeah, that's a
changed
big
their life.
transition from being yours to then teaching it. You know what I mean? That's like a whole different business,
Yeah.
right? It's going to be a whole different, but
Yes.
but when I'm hearing you say that about like empowering other women to start the business, I could see that as being a thing
Yeah.
Yeah.
for women out there, right? Throughout the world, and something I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that vision.
Honestly, to create a community, right? Globally,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can start nationwide, just to create a community with this type of businesses, and say we have a marketing plan. So I will book you events. I will sign the contracts. I will bring you the events, and you take care of logistics. I think it's a great community,
Mm.
and we
Yeah.
support each other.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's cool. So, what advice do you have for people who are in that position that you were in when you started, where they have no money, but they do have the drive and ambition to want to do something new and on their own and get out of the 9-to-5 life?
Backs against the wall.
Backs against the wall. What advice do you have for them?
Know that it's yours. You have to know that it's yours. You can't just kind of do it, sort of do it, or think like you might be doing it. There's no might. You have to know, this is me. I'm doing it. I don't know what about this I love. I'm obsessed. You have to know it's yours. And when you know it's yours and you claim it, find the right people to be with. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I already did the trailblazer. I already went through the jungle with the hatchet. I made the path.
Right.
Created the concept. I understand the industry. So definitely get support from community. You don't have to start from zero. And then have a strong spine. Have a strong
I like
spine.
that.
Don't
Yeah.
back down.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think in this day and age, especially, I mean, everyone says they want to be a business owner, right? But there are those people out there that really would make great entrepreneurs, really would make great business owners. And it's just, there's a small line that they're standing behind that they need to cross, and they just don't know how to get there, especially from a financial standpoint. And so, it's and like you said, most of what we know about business owners today, it's people who were able to go get a $10 million loan, or, had something already. And you don't get the story like yours a lot, where it's like, hey, I really did. I started with nothing. I had no money. I had nothing. And now I'm doing this, right? And I think so many people are in that position. And hearing you talk about your business, I know is going to inspire others to say, hey, I think it's time for me to make that leap, right? And so, I think people can appreciate that advice. Aside from starting a business, what advice do you give to people to just be able to live with the happiness and the glow that you're outputting right now in front of us?
Oh, good compliment. Thank you. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to everyone around you. And just see the world with your heart.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. We forget about kindness a lot these days, I think. And the world's moving so fast. We forget that we're all humans, right? Like you said in the beginning, no one cares what you have going on, right? Like you put yourself, out there in front of people, and they don't care what's happening in your life. Whatever it is that they want to get out of you, that's what they care about. And we forget that we're all humans sometimes.
Yeah, but also I feel like this being authentic and be true to yourself opens a lot of doors.
Absolutely.
And attracts the right people.
And attracts the right people. I have few stories when I know I'm not, big name in the business, but I had to approach somebody with a big name. And when you're honest and you're forthcoming and you say, this is me.
Right.
And people,
right.
This is what I do.
Yeah, you know what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
It's like everybody can't trust anything that's going. So I love authentic people and people that just tell the truth, right?
Yes,
because I know what I'm gonna get. So I'm gonna magnetize to you. You know what I mean? Because I feel safe there.
Yeah. But also don't beg and don't ask. It's not about, don't make it about you. Make it about them. Honestly, the best business advice I can give, whatever idea you have to tailor it to other people. So think about, who are your clients? What is the type of business? I do a lot of homework, a lot. I know a lot about sports. I know a lot about real estate. I know a lot about movies, premieres, acting, actor, everything. You have to know, you don't have to be a fan, but you have to be informed.
Right.
Because now all of a sudden you can make certain moves simply because you did your homework.
Right.
And I feel when you come with a business solution to me and say, I can improve what you're doing, and you listen, you understand my business, and you can actually improve it, you don't have a price tag.
Right.
You can ask anything, but then over deliver.
Right.
It's very interesting to me how many people are in business, but they're all talking about me. It's my price, this my services, this. I'm like, who cares?
Right.
Or what can you do for me? But in the same time, if you come in strong and I said, let me take care of this, I will get this done, I will get this done. I understand you're working on this project. I understand you're expanding. You got your Scottsdale branch. Let me run, 2 more branches for you for logistics. Done.
Right.
Done.
Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying, because if you have 2 people with the same service, and this person knows nothing about the customer, and this person has something, whether it's sports or anything else that they relate on, you're more likely to take the service from that person that you can relate to a little more, right? Because you're on a different level with them, where you feel you're on an equal playing field, rather than this person's just coming to make money off of it, right? Yeah, I like that. And something else you said earlier too, when I asked what advice you have, is you mentioned just surrounding yourself with the right people. And I think that that's important as well. I think that's good advice, because as long as because we're always talking about it, everything's energy, right? So when you're surrounding yourself with the right people, you're bringing the right energy, and then manifestation kicks in and you attract more of that energy. So I think we forget that in life too, is that who you surround yourself with makes or breaks you. And, and I know I've learned that the hard way a lot of the time, just in life in general, but that's good stuff. That's what people need to hear.
Just stay away from people that complain. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just go your sure. Be a solution. Be a solution person. Stay in the solution.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I mean, that was great. What a story. And
so
really grateful to have you.
Where can people find you?
VogueCandles.com.
VOGUE.
Yes,
Candles.
VogueCandles.com. Instagram is Vogue.Candles. It actually has my personal phone number. I know. I know. And 805. 805. Email. All the contact is on social.
Okay. And
We'll make sure we
website
connect it, too.
is
VogueCandles.com.
okay.
Purchase. Go check out the Amazon shop. Purchase. Leave reviews. Reviews are very important on Amazon. I'm so excited. It has been a project of love. And interesting enough, every time I do events, somebody's like, "Oh, this looks so good. I just want one candle. Where can I buy it?" They bought it. Great. Or somebody buys them and then they find out we do staging services. Oh, I don't have to buy 100 of those candles.
Right.
You're going to come and do all the work for
Right.
me. Yeah, perfect. So let me show you something that is going to blow your mind as a scientist. Okay. So I'm going to gently blow it out. Like so. The light is so strong. And we're going to let it cool. Okay. And then you will replace the wick.
Okay. How long does it take to cool?
Just give it maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Maybe, I think that with the kind of things that we talk about on this show, I think that, candles kind of play a role in kind of that spiritual side of people a lot, I think. And, maybe we can talk about you allowing us to do some ads in our podcast episodes, maybe do some affiliate type deal or something like that. And
I'm open.
I definitely want to do anything I can to promote your brand, because the brand is built on love and light. I love that. And it's so unique, I didn't even know that a business like this exists until Carlo told me about you. And it's not only a unique, business strategy, but it's a unique product on its own. When you think candle, you think a solid piece of wax in a jar, right? Yeah. And so this, it's just so unique and so cool.
Yeah. Often I make reference to, it's like, we're Tesla of candlelight.
Right.
How does the car runs without an engine?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a similar concept that would definitely revolutionize the candle industry for sure.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a little warm here, so it's going to take a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a while, yeah.
Then we don't have to keep that part
But I do want you to, literally, because I need to see his face.
Okay.
Gonna blow his
Yeah, it is.
mind.
And people are always, when we're doing, they're always, "Oh, what is that?" And they want to hear the story of how was that created, or whatnot.
Yeah.
I was going to compare it to creating Google or something. You said Tesla. I was going to say Google. But it is, because it's just something so unique.
Yeah.
And that's just why I'm so intrigued with your story, and I can just appreciate it all so much, What a story.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What a
definitely.
story.
Thank you.
Definitely. I agree. And like I said, the part that inspires me most is being able to start what you've started. Starting is zero, right? And
More like minus.
Right.
Yeah, minus
right.
zero.
Exactly.
Minus.
Because a lot of us are there, and so you're living proof that
Aw.
if you follow your heart and you follow your ideas to the fullest, you can make something, right? And it's It's when we get scared of the idea and we get scared of not succeeding that we end up not succeeding, right? But when we indulge in that fear and we embrace that fear of not succeeding and we just keep going, no matter what, like you've obviously done, that's you know, that's inspiring, and that's where we really succeed.
And I just was Royale, who we're going to have on the next episode, he's a success coach, and he's talking about the 3 C's, and it's like, and because you talked about it like you're not confident, like talking with people, right? But it's not confidence, it's courage, right? It's the courage to do these things. It doesn't take confidence. The confidence will come, but it's the courage to do these things. The courage with no money and an idea, a crazy idea. That is one of the hardest things in the world to promote. To promote, right? It's like you got to being delusional, you know, and having the courage to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that you can do that with anything if you fully believe. But like as you and the way you explain it is like manifestation, but you energetically aligned has to go along with your actions, your belief system, right? Knowing who you are and who you're not. It's just not one thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, this creation isn't tangible, really. You really can't hold it because your energy and the story and everything it took to, that's why I call it so unique, you know, because it's an energetic thing that was created energetically from you as a child to your whole life, to your whole story. It all led up to this freaking candle. So you can't just make this shit up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think this is a form, you know, like this is a form that manifested. And I know for sure it has everything to do with that phrase that there is the light on this tunnel.
I love it.
Because God loves have a good laugh.
Yeah.
This was God created
Right.
through you.
Yeah.
There is the light. So
Absolutely. Yep. All right. I'm going to give it a shot. Can I give it a shot?
yeah. Okay, we'll make sure we have the camera. Where's the camera?
The camera's,
Yeah.
it's on it.
Well, come this way so we see your face. I need to see.
Oh.
Just gently, yep.
And that's it. You put a new wick in and you got a new candle.
Is that crazy? So it crystallizes. You can actually relight. I always like.
Okay.
Because whatever
And
this
it'll stay lit for up to what, 14 hours? I've
burn
seen
time.
millions of them. But thank you though. Yeah.
Is that cool?
You just put it on the tray.
You can throw it away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing.
Very cool. Well, once again, we truly thank you for coming and telling your story. You shouted out where we can find you. We'll begin lighting one of your candles every episode. Most definitely.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And it's really been a pleasure to talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It means
Appreciate that. So you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Hit us up, comment, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Appreciate everyone that's watching. Much love. Peace.
Later.